You are now listening to the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Are you a film fan who loves the ultimate home video experience? Look no further than The Disconnected. Your host, Ryan Verrill, is your go-to source for the latest and most accurate information on home video releases, exclusive interviews with industry insiders and filmmakers, and has established a thriving community where every film and physical media enthusiast feels welcome. From hidden gems to blockbuster hits, The Disconnected brings you insider knowledge and a welcoming space to share your love of cinema. Watch every Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific for the live announcements show and follow The Disconnected on social media to stay updated. Subscribe to The Disconnected on YouTube or on the podcast provider of your choice and dive into a world where every movie night is an adventure.
The following podcast will contain spoilers, tangents, hot takes, and excessive foul language. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to Frightmares Podcast. I'm your host, Austin Proctor, and joining me today for episode 377 is my beautiful wife, Gabrielle Proctor.
Hello.
Why do you do that every time?
I don't know.
God. Today on the first installment of Maylien Invasion, we're discussing our essential pick, Close Encounters of the Third Kind from 1977. A movie that goes to show us the longer the title, the better the movie.
That makes perfect sense, yes.
Exactly. Let's see where this lands at the Nightmare Index. All right, so what are you at now for fucking movies watched?
273.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
You watched like 20 movies. It hasn't even been a week.
To be fair, a couple of these are shorts.
Oh my God. Now you're just cheating.
If you can log it, I'm logging it.
Where am I at? What was my 200th? Oh no. Did I fuck? I just literally said on the last episode I needed to
make sure it was a good one.
Make sure it was a good one, and then I guess I fucked right off. But it might have been Vampire in Brooklyn, which I'm okay with. It was my 200 somehow was letting me in.
Nice. Good for you.
All right, cool. That's fine. That works for me.
Yeah.
Everything this year has been great except for Couples Retreat on the 50th watch. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, recently I showed our child the Don Bluth Thumbelina movie.
Uh-huh.
Which she actually really enjoyed more than I thought she would. And I don't know. I do know why. It doesn't register as a kid who's doing what in those movies, but Jodie Benson voices Thumbelina, who you might know as voicing Ariel, and Barry Manilow wrote the songs and composed the movie. I'm not
peeing. This is a soda. I just want to be clear.
Just right in the middle of my share.
Yeah. Good old Don Bluth. R.I.P.? Is he dead?
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
But anyway, God help me, I decided to watch a couple Paul W.S. Anderson movies that I had not seen before with Milla Jovovich.
What's wrong? Oh, there's too many fucking Paul Andersons. I'm thinking of
Paul W.S. Anderson.
I'm thinking of not Wes Anderson. Who directed Punch Drunk Love? Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
Fuck off with the names.
Yeah, so this is the guy who
Jesus.
directed a lot of the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah.
So, fun time, right? Yeah, I watched In the Lost Lands, where my review was no acting muscles were strained in the making of this film because
Nice.
I love Dave Bautista and I love Milla Jovovich. They were phoning it in, as was whoever designed the film and wrote the script. So it was a terrible movie.
I mean, I get it, I phone it in a lot of times at work, and they're at work, so I get it.
Yeah, it was just the plot was just kind of non-existent. There was no chemistry. I found myself thinking, are they falling in love, or it's like they're bonded as friends? I can't tell what they're going for because they're being so vague and making no physical contact.
Now, Keith.
I'm guessing she didn't want to kiss because that her husband was directing, because she's married to Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. And then I watched Monster Hunter, also with her, also directed by him. And
Is he, Rob Zombie?
Right. At this point, yeah, he pretty much, his wife is in everything he directs. But that one had a really fun first half. The second half was like, all right, I know we were doing this other thing, but we should probably like have a plot now. And then they slapped in a bunch of story and lore and characters at the back half of the movie. And you're like, oh, that's like a lot of stuff to throw in. We don't have that much time left to be getting into all this, but sure.
Why not? Really
should have stuck to the two people from different worlds who don't speak each other's languages trying to survive against monsters. That was way more interesting. But you live, you learn, right?
Sure.
Ron Perlman had a really unfortunate wig in that movie. So, yeah.
That's a shame.
But, yeah, that's about it. Other than that, watching horror movies with you, we saw Hokum. Well, I've seen Hokum now.
Wow. Okay.
What?
It's one of the few things I've watched since the last episode. He's taking it away from me.
Well, then let's use that to transition into what you've been watching.
I'm going to go back before Hokum, if that's okay.
Wow, just ruining my transition that I just made up right now.
I saw Hokum for the second time in theaters because you wanted to go, and I obviously am not going to say no to that because it was a really good movie. Gave it 5 out of 5. So I guess back to you.
Oh, man.
Report for what you thought.
Me too, enjoy. Had good time.
I noticed, first of all, he's a big fan of circles. Fan of circles.
Don't do it.
I guess I shouldn't talk about Hokum, but I started Caveat last night, also circles in that movie. So now I have to watch Oddity and see if there's fucking there is circles.
Yes,
isn't there a circle in the door where they're looking through or something? No,
also,
that's a little.
The statue has holes all over its head.
Yeah, but I mean specifically circles. There was a specific moment in Caveat where there was a circle that someone had cut into drywall, and then it shifted to a next, like, someone looking through a circular window. I was like, this man really likes circles.
Yeah.
So now I have to watch Oddity. Oh, no. And see if there's circles in that one.
We went different directions. You watched that horror movie, and I picked The Boss with Melissa McCarthy.
Well, I haven't seen Caveat. Oh, I started it a long time ago and then never finished it. I don't know why. Probably when I was in my drinking era. And I've seen Oddity, obviously, and I've seen Hokum, so I have to go back and watch the first movie this guy did, Damien McCarthy. And all of his movies have a very innate sense of isolation. Caveat is one location, basically in a house. Oddity, while it is multiple locations, still feels very isolated because a lot of the movie takes place in that big, weird house in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And then Hokum, Hotel in the Woods. So he very much likes isolation and circles.
Yes.
So, but yeah, Hokum, you also gave a 5 out of 5.
Yep.
Michael and Spencer gave it a 4 out of 5, and Corey gave it a 4.5 out of 5. So this is going to be all over the top 10 list this year. No surprise there.
Spoilers.
Going back to Vampire Month, we watched Vamp, not to be confused with Vampsa, plural, 2 wildly different movies. 3.5, it was weird. That's for sure. I was gonna give it a 3, but I enjoyed it more than Vampire in Brooklyn, so for the sheer weirdness of it. So I had to give it a half star more for just being a very weird vampire movie.
I can't help but wonder what an improvement it would have been if Grace Jones had agreed to talk in the film.
Oh, yeah, she didn't say a word.
She was supposed to have dialogue, and she's like, nah, I'm going to do a Nosferatu thing. I'm not going to talk at all. Like, okay. It was funny at first when she had a lot of conversations with people where they're just kind of talking to her and answering their own questions.
What do you even say as the director at that? No, I'm not talking. I'm not doing any lines. Fuck me for all the lines I wrote for you then.
Yeah,
That's
apparently
that's
she
just
was a
very
lot of trouble on that set anyway.
Yeah,
changing her costumes,
if
being
you're
late.
if you're I don't know if it's the first thing she said, but if you're telling the director that you're just straight up not talking, that's a problem.
Crispin Glover did the same thing in Charlie's Angels.
And I'm sure Nicolas Cage did the same thing in Willy's Wonderland.
Well,
I'm kidding. They probably just said, you're not going to have to even speak this entire movie.
sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I mean,
Works
with
in
Crispin
Willy's
Glover,
Wonderland.
it became iconic. He was just the creepy thin man, and he didn't talk, and it worked really, really well. This movie had some plot that would have made more sense maybe she said some lines.
It's almost like they wrote lines for her.
Probably.
And she just said, nah.
But I think it's funny. Like, it was a little all over the place, but they had some really cool, like, the lighting was great in that. It was so fun.
A bunch of greens and purples.
They had some really fun vampires, and they did something interesting with the plot. And they really toted the line between being wacky and being scary, which was a good time.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm surprised this one just doesn't get talked about at all, period.
1986, Vamp.
Yeah.
Streaming on your favorite platforms. Wow, everywhere. Prime, Tubi, Plutoplex. There you go.
They're just trying to get somebody to watch it.
Yeah. I rewatched a movie I hadn't seen in quite some time because there's no physical release for it, and it's not streaming anywhere. I had to do a free trial to blah, 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 on Amazon to watch this goddamn movie. It's called The Den, and I forgot how good this movie was. It is one of those movies that is like Host, where everything is from the computer's perspective.
Oh, interesting.
It's from 2013. This is years before this became very popular. Unfriended did this in 2014, I believe, and this style of movie, I'm pretty sure this is like one of the first ones to do this type of movie because it spurred a lot of other things in the late 2000s. Really fucked up story, really fucked up ending. Don't watch this if you want a happy ending. Just let me tell you that right now.
Word.
4 stars though. The only problem I really had with it was, for some reason, I don't know if it was just my speakers, because I have different speakers in my office than I do in the living room. But every time she was talking to someone over the computer, there was just this really high, like, shh noise. And it was very distracting. And then it would fizzle off when she was not talking to someone. And I'm like, why are we doing... I don't know. So maybe there was just audio issues from my setup. While we watched Affection, a brand new horror movie for this year starring Jessica Roth and guy who looks like Sean Ash, blah, 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 whatever his name is, Joseph Cross. I've read so many people just ripping this movie to shreds.
Yeah, that guy, the guy who plays your husband, is the lead in Running with Scissors. If you've ever seen that movie based off the book, Running with
Much
Scissors.
to my dismay, it's not a movie about lesbians. Yeah, I don't understand. People just ripping this one apart for whatever reason. I'm not saying everybody has to like this movie, but you get this great reveal really early in the movie, and then it just kind of goes crazy from there. I thought it was great. I thought this was a very unique, very mysterious thing, and everyone is just bored with it or whatever. Okay, all right. I
can see where the setup could have been stronger.
Maybe.
But I overall thought it was a
I'm okay
fun
with
film and a cool concept.
I'm okay with being confused for the first 40 minutes if you fucking tell me why I was confused, and they do.
Oh no, it's not that I was confused. I was thinking how that twist could have been even stronger. Just them talking about her accident and not discussing the details based on the accident you see happen just feels weird that they don't talk about it at all.
I thought that he was referring to that accident.
Yeah, I know, and that's the implication, but they don't discuss it at all. She doesn't ask what happened to me. There's some questions to me that feel really obvious to ask in that situation, but then don't get asked. So,
Whatever. It worked for me.
Overall, it worked for me too.
No issues for me. 5 out of 5. No, I'm just kidding.
Liar.
No. I don't know. It was just, it was different. And Jessica Roth was great. I just feel this girl just keeps getting trapped in loops, man. Happy Death Day, Affection, just keeps getting...
Yeah, this is just what she do.
This is just what she do. I was going to say something else about it, and then I forgot. Oh, another not feel-good movie. Don't watch this if you want. And maybe that's another reason people aren't a fan of it, because typically I love a good bleak ending because they're not done all the time. And this one has a pretty bleak ending to a certain degree. There is a slight bit of hope at the end, but not really.
Yeah. And I think this one was really fun too, because the implications of what are going on are just really...
The implications.
Yeah. Are really terrifying and disturbing.
Yeah.
If you think about it for a couple of minutes there.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm proud of myself for calling it like 2 minutes before they revealed what was happening.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I was pretty sure I had this movie pegged right from the beginning, and I was irritated that I guessed it so quickly because I usually don't guess movies. And then while I was kind of close, it went in a pretty different direction. I was like, oh, shit. I was kind of right, but this I like this way better. It's way better.
Yeah, as soon as we got into the room for the reveal, I yelled what I thought. I was like, oh, I know what it is. And I was like, haha, I did it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just got a text from a random number. It says, hi, it's Nikki. Do you have a second to talk? Okay.
Who's Nikki?
I have no idea. It's not on my phone. It's a random number. Okay. Sure. Oh my God, thank you. Said yes. It's so weird. I just can't seem to get you out of my head. Can't wait to chat with you more in a bit. XO.
Who dat ho?
And then she just sent me oh, okay. You can do that thing with Apple where you send a picture and you can assign. I didn't know you could do that. All right, so that's fine. Oh, and now there's audio. Okay. Let me hook up my thing, my Bluetooth. Where's the Bluetooth? Okay. So, what is this? Audio.
I love you so much.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's probably fine.
Okay. I guess I just, do I say I love you too? Like, what do I say?
Sure shit, hope not.
Thanks? Question mark? Strange stuff. Keep you updated on that weird situation. Anyways, let's move on to the body count. Now she's gone radio silent. What a weird day. Oh, goodness. This is Close Encounters of the Third Kind from 1977, released on December 14th of that year in the U.S. Weird time to release a sci-fi alien movie. Rated PG, because PG-13 didn't exist yet. No sex and nudity, although you could literally see the mom's boobs multiple times through the...
Not nude. In the 70s, she was wearing a top. You're lucky she...
Just like the Stepford Wives, wearing sheer dress, boobs out. PG. Got it. No violence and gore, mild profanity, no alcohol, drugs, and smoking, and mild, frightening, and intense scenes. There's 3 different run times, 2:15 for the theatrical, 2:12 for the special edition, and 2:17 for the director's cut. The director's cut is Steven Spielberg's preferred cut. Listed as a drama sci-fi, we're making an exception for this one. Typically, it has to be listed horror on IMDb. But we already did Alien, which would have been probably the essential one I chose.
Yeah.
But we're doing this one, so, you know. Anyways, directed by Steven Spielberg. Everybody knows this guy. We're going to talk about him in a second anyways. Written by Steven Spielberg, who writes just about everything he directs. There was also 4 other writers, though they were uncredited. And I'm not going into all that, because fuck it. Composed by John Williams, who also composed most, if not all, of Steven Spielberg's movies. Star Wars 1 through 9, and every Indiana Jones movie, so just a couple of things.
Nothing you'd have heard of.
I haven't even seen any of those. Cinematography by Vilmos Zsigmond, who also did the cinematography for The Deer Hunter, Blowout, and The Witches of Eastwick. Edited by Michael Kahn, who also edited Indiana Jones 1 through 4, Jurassic Park 1 through 2, and the 1999 The Haunting. Starring Richard Dreyfuss as Roy Neary. He was in Jaws as Hooper. Francois Truffaut as Claude Lacombe. He only has 16 credits, 14 of which were prior to this movie, and only one after, called The Green Room, 1978, as Julian Devine. Terry Garr is Ronnie Neary, who was also in Dumb and Dumber as Helen Swanson. What?
Not even Mr. Mom, really?
I know her. I put what I know them from.
Okay.
Mr. Mom is who? Mrs. Mom?
Yes, as Mrs. Mom.
Got it.
She's also Mom and Dad Save the World.
Okay. Well, Melinda Dillon is Gillian Guyere, who was also in Magnolia as Rose Gator, and Bob Balaban as David Laughlin, who was also in Altered States as Arthur Rosenberg. I know Bob Balaban from Seinfeld. He plays the owner of CBS or something like that.
He's also in a lot of Wes Anderson projects.
That too, yes. Estimated budget of $20 million, grossing $306.9 million, so a couple extra dollars there.
Flop.
This movie was filmed all over the goddamn place. Los Angeles, California, multiple cities in Alabama, Querétaro, if I'm saying that right, Mexico, Maharashtra, India, and Devil's Tower National Monument, Wyoming. You can watch this on Amazon and Plex for a $3.99 rental. Movies that came out around the same time: Pete's Dragon, Saturday Night Fever, The Incredible Melting Man, Return to Boggy Creek, and Buck Rogers.
I've seen none of these.
I know. IMDb summary: an Indiana electric lineman finds his quiet and ordinary daily life turned upside down after a close encounter with a UFO, not of the third, whatever, spurring him into an obsessed cross-country quest for answers as a momentous event approaches. Let's go into the autopsy. I was going to say final thoughts.
All done here,
All
guys.
done.
You got it. You heard our thoughts about other things.
Bye. All right. Overall thoughts.
I really enjoy this movie. It's so fun. It's got this nostalgia to it that you just can't replace. You can't, it's hard to describe almost, like how you're in the moment with Richard Dreyfuss and you're wondering what it's all building to, and like the way that it's designed, the way it just carries you along, and how important like the music really pulls you into the film. And it's like, it feels nostalgic. It's from 1977. It's years before we were born, and it still feels like part of your childhood almost, which I mean makes sense because, you know, things like E.T., it feels like that. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the director or the score or any of that.
No, not at all.
But I really love this movie. I've seen people talk about it being slow and whatnot. I don't think it's slow. I think it is building up anticipation, and you have to have patience for what it's trying to do. This is a movie that you have to wait for that payoff, and you get a payoff.
See, and I disagree. Overall thoughts.
Let's take it outside.
It is a slow movie, but that's okay. Just because a movie's slow doesn't mean it also can't be interesting. It is a slow-moving movie.
I'd call it paced. Like, it's not slow. It's not rushing to where it's getting.
Yeah, but just because it's slow doesn't mean it's slow. That's what I'm saying. Just because I'm saying it's slow-moving doesn't mean it's not interesting.
True.
It's just a 2-hour, 17-minute, build up to the final thing that happens.
Yeah, I get you.
So, it's not, I don't find it really boring at times. I feel some some parts probably could have been cut a little bit shorter. Like that whole, it's great when he's manic and throwing everything inside, but like they could have cut that down severely. It went on for like a little too long for me.
And the only reason I disagree with that is because the fact that his wife is like, you know what? I'm done now.
Yeah.
You really have to build up that she is actively staring him in the face. He's got several minutes there to course correct.
Yeah.
And really chill his shit out. And he is just continuously making it worse.
But it's been...
he is drawing a crowd. He is embarrassing his wife. He's not listening to her. He is destroying her things. And he is too focused on his thing to notice how much he's upsetting his wife to the point where she left in her pajamas.
But it was bad before that instance.
Yeah, like he was kind of already a bit like aloof or he's kind of absent prior to that. Really, but he just kind of seemed angry prior to that. Like, you get annoyed if things weren't going the way he wanted them to.
He did have the world's most aggravating children. Those kids were fucking annoying.
Yeah, probably because their dad was too busy not paying attention to them. As we've learned from parenting, the less you pay attention to your kids, the crazier they get.
And he
And
had that one boy jump in the crib and start bashing a doll to pieces, and he was like, "You are minutes from being killed."
yeah, and he lets it go on for several minutes before he says anything to him. He literally gets to the point where now he's pissed off before he actually intervenes. So yeah, bro's just too busy not paying attention to his family, and then he has this encounter, and then he just completely
loses his fucking mind.
yeah, like he's carving a mashed potato mountain. His son is crying. He's crying because he doesn't know what's wrong with him. His son is crying because he's scared. He doesn't understand what's happening to his dad. And Richard Dreyfuss can't stop talking about himself. He's like, your son is sitting right there crying because he's scared, and you're not even comforting him, not even like trying to help him. You're just thinking about yourself still.
There was so many terrible parents in this movie. So many terrible parents. Richard Dreyfuss, terrible parent. The other lady that he has a little thing with because they're connected, terrible mother. Lets her kid run outside into the road and almost get hit, then lets her kid get abducted by aliens. Horrible mother.
The kid was trucking.
Doesn't matter. He's a fucking 3-year-old. I'll catch that son of a bitch so quick. It's just horrible parenting in this movie. And how many did Richard Dreyfuss have? He had
3.
3. Yeah, you got to be more present than that when you have 3 kids. They were just running amok all over the house.
Yeah, like you even see it from the get-go, though. He's not a great dad to start because he promised the kids that they could go do something like a movie or goofy golf. And he's like, well, let's go see Bambi. And they're like, we don't want to see Bambi. He's like, well, do you want to go to a fun movie or just be miserable playing golf? Bro, you let them pick, then you let them pick. Don't be a dick about it.
And they were both like, goofy golf. He's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's annoyed that his kids want to do the activity they want to do, not go sit to a movie where he can just not participate.
Yeah. Did the mom have a job?
I don't think we established whether or not she does. But she's clearly very used to this kind of stuff. And then when you add in now he's acting batshit crazy and also and scaring the children, she had every right to be like, you know what, I'm good. We'll all be a lot happier if this isn't a day-to-day thing.
Yeah, and I totally understand her leaving. I am 100% on her side. But all the screaming she does at him, not helping the kids either. Just constantly yelling and berating him for everything. And he's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just keep seeing this thing in my head. What am I supposed to do? No support there at all.
Probably would have gotten more support had he been a better father and partner prior to that. Like he probably would have had more equity in his support, but he's put no time or energy into being a present family member.
That's the problem with this movie. We don't get a lot of information before he has that encounter. You know, we get him at the house kind of being frustrated with the kids and not wanting to go do the thing that they want to do. And then he gets the call and then he goes out. So you get a glimpse that gives you the impression, well, I guess he's just a terrible dad. Yeah. You know, we don't get to see any good things he does. So it's just kind of assumed that he's not a good father.
Yeah. And I think that's really what they wanted you to get. Because if you're on that long of a film, you've got a time crunch to get some backstory in there. And the backstory is, hey, they're supposed to be planning a fun family time. And not only is he getting annoyed that they're not just doing what he wants to do, but he's screaming at his children. He tells them they can watch a movie that his wife's like, that is a 4-hour movie.
The 10 Commandments.
Yeah, and she's like, why would you say they could watch that movie? But probably because he just said they could. Probably didn't look at what movie they were watching. Probably didn't look how much time was in that movie. Just put it on and said, yeah, you can stay up for this.
Well, it's not like streaming where you pop something on and you can see how much time is left. This was cable TV in the 70s.
Yeah, but in the 70s...
You'd have to go find the newspaper.
You get a TV guide and it says how much is on there.
TV guide. No, newspaper was for movies. That's right.
Yeah, but you'd get a TV guide or something like that. But yeah, he just randomly agrees and she's like, why would you do that?
I think my biggest issue with this movie is the fact that we're following Richard Dreyfuss and It's not that he's a bad guy, but he's letting his life fall to the wayside for whatever he's seeing in his head. He's not a great protagonist.
Yeah, whereas on the flip side, you've got the mom, whose name is what again? I'm so sorry.
Terry Garr?
No, the other person we're following.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. Did I name her? Jillian?
Yeah, Jillian.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and her motivation through the entire thing is her child. Yeah, did she fuck up and get freaked out and let her kid go? Yes.
Yeah.
Should she have better security on her house that her toddler can't get out? Also, yes. But I tend to be more forgiving of her because she is a single parent.
Yeah, so you should be even more attached to that kid.
Well, yes, I understand that. But at the same time, if you're doing the job of two people by yourself.
If this was flipped around and it was a man, would you feel the same exact way?
If he was a single parent and he
fucked up and let the child go, you'd feel the same way.
I'm
just making sure you're not only having sympathy for a woman.
No.
I'm just making sure.
No, I literally said because he is right there in front of his kids and he is getting annoyed at their existence.
No, I'm saying if the roles were reversed for Jillian and Jillian was a man.
Yeah, like I said.
It's like a single dad and he let the kid go, you'd still feel the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're good.
Yeah. So.
We're fine.
But yeah, Jillian, I tend to give her a little more because she's by herself. So yeah, sometimes you're doing your damnedest and things still slip through anyway. That's the reality of
and who has a dog door? Jesus Christ. What a weird thing to have. Did they even have a dog?
No, but I mean, who knows? That could have, if it was already there.
I don't remember seeing a dog.
But, and in that moment, everything's flying around the kitchen. That'd be scaring the shit out of me too.
Would almost make me want to grab my child and hold on to them for dear life.
Yeah, so the whole house is shaking and she grabs back. Well, that kid is also really friggin' determined. And the second she grabs and then she looks down and then his feet are out the door like that kid is trucking.
Yeah.
And these aliens.
That's when he gets abducted because she tries to pull him back in and he.
Yeah, so like the 2 seconds she lets go of him, because before that she has grabbed him multiple times and pulled him back because these aliens are determined to get this kid, and he's determined to go. The 2 seconds she lets go, he's gone.
Yeah,
but her entire motivation in the movie is trying to get Barry back.
Yeah.
And she is chasing all this, not because she really, really cares about it. She is experiencing the same stuff. But at the end of the day, even when they get to the point of we're going to see what's going on, she literally says, I don't need to go down there. He's not there.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't think she was doing this to get her son back. She was doing this because she wanted answers. Right? I mean... Well,
yeah, she wanted answers. She wanted to find her son, but when she got down there, she's like, he's not going to be there, so why would I go down there? I don't know where they took him, but it's not where they are. It's not where these military people are. I think she was hoping for the answers to where her son was and to get her son back. And she genuinely believed that she went on this trip in hope, and when she got there, I don't think he's going to be there, and she was going to leave. Where you've got Richard Dreyfuss completely devoid, just fucking forget about his family. He starts to fight for them for like half a second until he sees Devil's Tower. She spends the entire time trying to get her kid back.
But I don't remember it being expressed that that's why she was doing it. They all shared the same visions and they were all drawn to this place.
Yeah, but his kid wasn't kidnapped. She literally doesn't care when she thinks he's not going to be there. And then when she realizes the big ship is here, that's when she goes down.
I guess it's just more implied then. Because, I don't think she ever states that. But yeah, Richard, or what's his name? Neary?
Yeah.
Roy Neary.
Roy.
His family fucks off and then we never see them again. Just such an open-ended, what happened to them? Hope they're fine.
Yeah, because he makes one phone call where he says, I'll do anything, and then he never fucking speaks to them again.
Yeah, they're gone, which is just very strange.
For the best, because that's the effort he was putting in. It was never going to work.
No, it was never going to work. But thank God he got married and had 3 kids, because now I guess they're never going to have a father. Because he just fucked off onto the ship. So Which
is what really solidified Roy is the shittiest dad. He literally went, I know I'm a father of 3 and I was the primary breadwinner and they all depend on me, but
I'm going on the ship.
I'm going to fucking space and you all can deal with it, right? And as soon as Jillian got her son, she's like, well, I don't give a shit about this anymore. Bye.
And that's the one thing I don't understand. So these aliens have been kidnapping people for 30-something years. Whatever. The planes return, the ships return. They're from like the 40s and 50s. But then they pick up a kid the other day who comes back with all the people that have been on that ship for 20 or 30 years. I don't get that part. That's the part I don't understand. Why is he returned after a few days, but all those other people that were on that ship were on there for like decades?
They don't really say.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be that they wanted to wrap up their testing and they needed some more modern people to
maybe
tie off what they were doing. Or because he was a child, they only wanted him for a brief time and not to keep him from his mother.
We have no idea what happened before this and how all of those people got to that ship in the first place. I'm assuming all of those people before had some of the same shared delusions, or not delusions, but shared... It's almost like The Stand, right? And Stephen King's The Stand, they all have
the dreams about Mother Abigail.
Yeah, they all have those dreams and they're all driven to one place. It's very much like that. So it's like we don't know how that's been happening before. The government kind of... not interrupted, but intervened to try to make contact with these things.
Yeah, because of all the people that had those visions and got that far, Roy was the only one who went all the way and was willing to go on that ship. Because, again, Jillian's like, nah, I got my son. I don't give a shit about any of this anymore.
Well, yeah, and then all the people that they hand-selected, they don't really want to be there. They're just the best of the best, and...
they were volunteers, but the aliens, like, we invited who we wanted to be here. The government stopped the people that were invited because they had a good half dozen people on that helicopter that were invited by the aliens.
And only 3 of them got off the helicopter. The other, were like, no, I'm just going to stay here.
Look, their elderly asses weren't going to make it over that mountain, okay?
That's true. They were pretty old. So, yeah, I guess this has just been going on for however long, and they're just lining up in the desert waiting for contact.
Yeah.
Mothership. So, wow, we went. That was good. I didn't want to let that. I didn't want to cut in with my Steven Spielberg shit, but I did want to talk about him. So, kind of switching gears here, but we'll get back to the movie at hand. So, Steven Spielberg was a very, very amateur filmmaker in the 70s, right? This is very interesting. At least I find this interesting.
Yeah.
And I got all of this from the Amblin website, so it is credible. Because I was trying to figure out how he landed Jaws and all that stuff, and this is kind of explained in here. So they say on his website that Steven Spielberg wrote and directed Amblin in 1968, short movie, his first short film on 35. But he has 4 credits before that for short movies. Maybe they weren't on specifically 35. Mm-hmm. So whatever. And he was still a college student. The film caught the eye of Universal Vice President Sidney Sheinberg, who would offer Spielberg a 7-year contract with Universal Television just from the short film. Spielberg likes to joke that he quit college so fast he didn't even bother to clean out his locker. So this brings us to Duel in 1971. During his tenure as a Universal Television director, he helmed 11 projects of varying lengths, from the standard 30-minute episodic television fare to near feature-length television works, including Columbo, The Name of the Game, to a trio of made-for-television movies, including his breakthrough Duel, followed by Something Evil, and then Savage. The 1971 telefilm Duel was released in theaters and international markets in 1972 and 1973, which eventually led him out of television and into feature filmmaking. That brings us to 74 with the Sugarland Express. He worked with producer Richard Zanuck and David Brown. Also, producers of that film, Academy Award winner Goldie Hawn produced that film. Mm-hmm. William Atherton, Michael Sachs, and Ben Johnson.
So it's on my watch list.
Yeah, Sugarland Express is pretty good. It was, critic Pauline Kael proclaimed that, quote, Steven Spielberg could be that rarity among directors, a born entertainer, perhaps a new generation's Howard Hawks in terms of the pleasure that the technical assurance gives an audience. The Sugarland Express is one of the most phenomenal debut films in the history of movies, end quote. So that brings us to Jaws, which he pitched to Zanuck and Brown, who he worked with again on this one. And apparently this was one of the most grueling location shots in all of cinematic history. It was on Martha's Vineyard is where they shot it.
Yeah.
But he did, it worked, obviously, and this actually redefined the term blockbuster, what it meant, because people were lining up again and again to see that movie, and it broke $100 million at the box office, and it would go on to make $471 million worldwide. Then that brings us to Close Encounters, 1977. It is written and directed by Spielberg, and it was a project that he had conceived while pitching to the studios before Jaws. And this is his first wholly original vision he'd bring to the feature film. Won Oscars for Best Cinematography and a Special Achievement Oscar for Sound Effects. The movie was also nominated for Best Actress, in a supporting role, Melinda Dillon, Best Art Direction, Best Sound, Best Filmmaking, or Film Editing, Best Visual Effects, Best Original Score, Best Director, all the things.
Yeah.
And then in the 1980s is when he would pair up with George Lucas to go on and do, E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, the other Indiana Jones movies, Temple of Doom, and, Gremlins, of course. No, he didn't do Gremlins. That was Joe Dante. But he produced Gremlins, sorry. But and then, of course, Gremlins and Temple of Doom are, what made the PG-13 rating a thing. And in terms of big budgets, what did this have? $20 million budget?
Yeah, you scrolled right past it.
Yeah, $20 million budget. For 1977, that's a pretty massive budget.
Yeah.
There was only a few other movies that really did something like this. We have Forbidden Planet in 1956, widely considered one of the first high-budget sci-fi films. 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is one of the most ridiculously... For 1968, it's crazy how that movie looks.
Yeah.
If the moon landing was faked, which I don't believe it was, Kubrick would have done it. If you see that movie, you're like, how the fuck was this filmed in 1968?
Yeah.
Then, of course, this movie, Star Wars, but that's not really... It's not really... It's a sci-fi movie, but it's more like an adventure, fantasy, stuff like that. It's not really about aliens, even though there's aliens in it. And then, of course, Alien from 1979. So there's really only 5 films that really did what this movie did. Of course, there are 3 cuts of this, which I already mentioned. The director's cut is the one that I recommend. And it is interesting because in 1977, Star Wars came out the same year as this. Obviously, Star Wars and this feel totally different because, I don't know, this one feels much more like a mystery exploration movie, whereas Star Wars is just kind of like, how would you even describe Star Wars? Just...
It's an action-adventure sci-fi where this is more of a grounded sci-fi.
Yeah, this is more of a grounded film. And Star Wars is much more fantastical. Yeah. Taking place mostly...
That's a whole other universe. This is bringing sci-fi to our world.
Right, there you go. There you go. Exactly. So, yeah, Star Wars is an entirely other galaxy where Close Encounters is based basically in, reality. So this movie is a film about, disruption, not necessarily invasion, not destruction, not intrusion, the kind that slips into your home, your mind, your identity. And I think what makes it unsettling is it doesn't ask what if aliens attack, but what if they choose you? And we talked about that. This is one of the rare movies, sci-fi movies, that don't have us fighting aliens. Usually in alien movies, they come to here to attack us, or they come here and we attack them. This is one of the, not only films, but earliest film, I think, to depict us working with them to try and... they're trying to talk to the ship with that big keyboard.
Yeah, we were talking about it when we were watching the movie. There are so few films where it's like alien contact is not a negative. There's there's E.T.,
Well, and even in E.T., they start wanting to do experiments and shit on him.
They're wanting to experiment on him, but his contact isn't hostile.
No.
They are literally there on a plant finding mission, and he accidentally gets left behind. And I think the idea there is so positive. Just because they're not us, maybe there can be some good something being different doesn't make it evil. And we have so many films where alien contact really results in annihilation and destruction. Yeah. And we were talking when we were watching the movie, I was like, I kind of wonder if the reason that is because that's how we would be. We would respond to an alien presence is immediately attack it.
Shooting it down.
Yeah.
Especially with and
because we have a shoot first, ask questions later approach, and different is dangerous and bad has always been a major issue on our planet, unfortunately. And I think that's why I really enjoyed this one, and obviously E.T., because that's the idea of what if it wasn't bad?
Yeah, what if you're chosen?
What if they just want to learn from you and they want you to learn from them? And what if we could connect and learn from each other? And even the people, they took people 40 years ago.
And they came out looking the same way they did as they went in.
Yeah, which can give you a Captain America kind of situation where it's like, cool, so everybody I know is old now.
All my friends are dead.
But at the same time, it's like they clearly took good care of them in the meantime.
Yeah.
And, I just think it's a really nice idea, and it's nice to have a positive idea around something we don't understand.
Well, and being chosen, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like where this movie taps into horror, and that's why I'm like letting it slide, is because I feel like the movie weaponizes its ambiguity. You have lights in the sky that don't behave like anything familiar. You have technology failing in eerie, synchronized ways. People are receiving visions that they don't understand. And there are some definite horror moments. The most iconic of which I would say is when Roy is in his truck and he gets beamed with that light. And all the stuff is swirling around. The mailboxes are swinging back and forth. Like, that's a pretty spooky scene.
And even more so when Barry, right before Barry is taken and the door flies open and his mom is running to close it. And they're under the house and the vent screws start coming up. And because, at that point, you do not know if they're hostile or not. They're flying around, but will they attack?
Right. And it's like I weirdly feel they are trying to come in peace in a way, because if they wanted to attack, they would have just blown that house the fuck up. But they're trying to creep in, so it feels even scarier than just blowing up a house.
Yeah, they're trying to access the house. She is trying to shut up the house. They want to get to Barry. That's terrifying, because why are you taking a child? But yeah, if they wanted to actually attack, they would, but it just feels invasive.
It does.
But you don't know what the tone of that invasion is.
Well, that's because I think he is building the tension through violence. Or sorry, not through violence, but incomprehension. The unknown is just there, and it's rewriting the character's reality as they understand it. That's classic horror DNA, if you ask me. It's less monster under the bed and more of like rules of existence no longer apply. Now I'm in a place where I don't understand. Like this isn't life as I know it.
Yeah,
everything's acting extremely bizarre. And of course, Roy's descent is very unsettling. He's not a hero. I don't really view him as a protagonist. He's just slowly unraveling. Sleep deprivation, obsessive compulsive behavior. If you strip away the wonder of like how excited he is about it, his arc plays like a fucking breakdown. He's like breaking down on a psychological level. Hardcore.
Yeah, because I don't know that you're necessarily rooting for him, but at the same time, when he gets to go to that ship, you're like, well, he's getting what he wants.
Yeah, I feel happy for him getting what he wants to know.
But you don't necessarily like him very much, because he's...
Especially when he gets on the ship, I'm like, well, fuck you, because that's insane.
I was like, yeah, that's what you wanted. But at the same time, I guess fuck your entire family.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're getting rid of your entire family. I mean, if I had a chance to ride on a ship with aliens that weren't hostile, I mean, hell yeah, let's go. But not if I had a family. Like I'm not going to leave you and our daughter behind because aliens want to take me on a tour of the ship.
Yeah,
because
their people are gone 40 years. His kids could be older than him by the time he comes back.
Can we swing by the house and grab my wife and daughter? No? All right, well then I'm going to have to peace out. I'm sorry. But it's like the alien contact for Roy is like this religious awakening. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
but also he loses himself, his family, his identity. He's so much more intrigued by being on that ship than anything. And I think that's where this movie pulls me in, is the mystery and the craft behind making you believe every second of this movie.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because, the way those visions are making people draw this image over and over and over again. It's clearly like a psychic message. Come here, come here, come here.
It's the Dower's Devil. The tower, Devil's Tower. Jesus.
Yeah, and they're just trying to show the image because the aliens don't have the word. They have a identifiable landmark.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes, that's it. And the idea, though, that they are invading his brain, they're basically not leaving him with a choice either, in a sense, which is creepy. Like, he's demolishing parts of his house to build this giant tower because he feels so compelled because of what they put in his head.
Yeah.
And that's really scary. I think that just adds to the anticipation and the not stress necessarily, but the almost anxiety of what's happening to them, because it's like they can't control this, but do they want to? And the aliens put that there, so now do they have a choice?
Well,
and the answer is I don't think they have a choice.
And I feel bad for the people that were obviously called out to as well, who couldn't associate what they were drawing with the Devil's Tower. You know, if they missed that newscast about the Devil's Tower being shut down and blah, 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 those people are still probably going crazy to this day, you know? Or what do we feel about that?
Oh, no, I wondered that too, but because they addressed that in the movie, like, if they're all drawing this, some of them just may not know what this is or may not have seen it, and
right.
Those people aren't going to, like, how many more? What is that? Oh, it's a lawnmower.
Is it?
Yeah.
That was a weird time. It sounded.
It just went.
That's like what the shit sounds like in the movie with like that humming.
Well, it's like, I thought our garage was opening. I'm like, who's opening the garage?
I thought we were going to the mothership. You know what I mean?
It'd be really awkward. I don't want to go.
You don't want to go.
I do not want to go to space. What's wrong?
You wouldn't go to space if you got a tour of the ship.
No.
It's calling.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Fun fact: I actually have the score to the back and forth song that they have in that movie at the end. I have the score for that.
That's so weird. That lawnmower has never made a sound like that, and it just sounds like the mothership hovering over us.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Speaking of UFOs, let's talk about some practical effects, eh? What, are you about to play?
No, I was just saying I have that song on my phone. That's all.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about some practical effects here. Because, I mean, man, it's crazy how this movie is 49 years old and the UFOs feel so real. Obviously, they're not perfect. I mean, I'd say the mothership is pretty perfection, but the ones that are flipping around and flying through the streets, they still look great.
Oh, no, they look great.
Don't get me wrong, they still look great. It's just crazy how, I mean, that's what happens when they had to really do that with miniatures and superimposition, so it just makes it look that much more real. It holds up because it fits within the world of what's going on in the movie because it's superimposed on the film.
Yeah, and I think I read something to the effect of, Steven Spielberg had this vision for what the mothership was going to look like, but it just wasn't like coming together. It wasn't feasible. And he ended up being inspired by the like oil refineries in India. And how they have like those antennas with the lights and stuff.
That makes sense.
And whatnot. And he used that as a big inspiration. And I got to say, like, his mothership, his ships are unique.
Yeah.
Most people haven't recreated those. Alien has the same kind of thing, a very unique ship. But nowadays, what you really get is that really smooth, really beautiful and sleek design on ships. And it just feels so impersonal. I think we talked about how...
Well, it's because it's all just digitally created. I mean, he was creating miniatures.
Yeah, and it's kind of ridiculous because ships that we make aren't even like that in real life because all those pieces are sourced out, so they all look kind of different from each other.
Yeah.
And like I think Hail Mary, which we still need to see, unfortunately, they put a lot of effort into having those pieces fit together so it felt realistic. Like this feels otherworldly but familiar with the ship designs, and you can see how this would be something that for years people could have been saying, oh, I saw this UFO over my house. This feels like what they would have been seeing.
But I like that every spacecraft is different.
Yeah.
There's not a repetitive one. One's like kind of cube shaped, one's triangular, then you have your classic saucer. Every single one of them's different.
One looks like a spinning top.
Yeah, one looks like a spinning top, and you're like, are these going to be the only ones we get? And then the mothership shows up in that cloud of, I have the trivia on how they actually did that effect, and you're like, oh shit, this is huge.
Yeah.
And I think the reason it hits so hard outside of the wonderful practical effects is because they're using it at one of the coolest fucking backdrops that they could ever possibly use it at. The Devil's Tower, are you kidding me? There's no other place they could have done that at where it would have hit the same.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that was the perfect location because you have this massive structure that arising from the earth with a massive UFO on top of it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's unusual. It's a unique feature. Like it's not a mountain necessarily. It's flat on top. It just looks like it doesn't belong there.
It looks like it doesn't look like it should exist in real life, but it does.
Yeah,
it's a real
thing.
thing.
That's what makes it so interesting. It's extremely identifiable, and it looks so unique, and it looks otherworldly in that it doesn't feel like it should be there at all. Yeah,
and it was such a good visual representation because everyone is drawing that, and obviously you're not going to miss a giant thing like that on the ground, so it's instantly recognizable when you're like, that's what we've been drawing, that's what we're here for, now we got to go find that. I really like that they picked that because I think it really ties the movie together. Plus it's obviously something you could probably see from pretty high up when you're flying a UFO. It's a landmark, I would say, so it just makes sense from the alien and human perspective. It's an instantly recognizable thing,
exactly,
especially when I'm pretty sure that's in a desert, right? Or I mean, it's Wyoming.
I was gonna say it's
Maybe
just kind of in
rural land. So, and with all that being said, I mean, it's a great 70s film, or it's not just a great 70s film. I feel like it's foundational. It kind of it redefined alien encounters as ambiguous and not hostile, and it had this, I wouldn't say art house pacing, but it had this a pacing that paid off.
Yeah.
From the mystery, from the not knowing what was going on, to just you get to see the aliens. Although some are a little wonky, that's okay. He clearly made up for this in E.T. Most of them were kids running around in alien costumes, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
The one really gangly one, he was cool. I liked him.
Yeah, my only thing is where his legs meet his torso look like a rag doll where you stitch the lines together, and that always distracts me.
It looks like he was being puppeted or something.
100%.
It didn't look like he was touching the ground. I don't know. But I think this one, he trusted his audiences to sit with the uncertainty and just hold on to that because we're going to answer it. It's just going to take a minute.
Yeah.
Just hold on here. So, I don't know. It's definitely not like modern sci-fi where that tends to be over-explained. It does something the opposite. It withholds information and gives it to you at the necessary times. And then by the end of it, I mean, that whole ending scene was so much longer than I remembered it being.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to just watch all of those ships. And that leads me back to Roy here, because I don't think he really wins. He just leaves. It's a bold, almost uncomfortable ending. And, I guess screw his family. Of course, the Jillian, I like that she takes all those pictures of the UFO, because I would too.
Just like click.
Click, click, click. Yeah, so this is the 70s are such a great time, as I'm learning. in my exploration of the decade this year. Really, the Cult Movie Challenge has just pushed me so far into the 70s. I did not really even think I would be here, but here we are. Because some other notable horror movies from the 70s would be obviously The Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And those were bleak like this movie, but, you know, obviously those movies were a lot bleaker horror-wise.
Yeah.
Because, this isn't necessarily a horror movie, but it still has that kind of... it's like not a happy ending. It is for Jillian, but and I guess it is for Roy, but as the third party, I'm not happy with Roy's decision.
Yeah, but I think for realistically, when you're watching that movie, it's like, oh, he did it. He made it to the ship. And then the movie ends. That's it. The end. He's on the ship. Bye.
And then it just...
Right to the credits.
Right to the credits.
So really, you're supposed to be like, I think it's supposed to be, you spend this entire time building up to they're heading to something, the whole, this means something. This is important. The important thing happened. We're done now.
Bye.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got there. You got to the end. We don't need to see what happened later. We don't need to know what happened to his family. Everybody is just existing. Roy's in space.
He's gone.
And I don't think you're supposed to really think that much about what the hell
I guess that's fair.
happened with his family, because at that point they've left and
they're safer than they were.
Yeah, and they spend so much time away, and he doesn't mention them once.
No. And he even has a little thing with Jillian.
Yeah, not only does he have a long ass hug with her, but he kisses her later. I'm like, wow, you just don't give a shit about your family. And
I think he's just happy to find someone who understands, because they didn't. And I'm not agreeing with it because you're still technically married, but I guess it was just an overwhelming relief for him to be like, finally, someone who gets what's happening.
Which I do find to be hilarious, because Ronnie is definitely painted to be the nagging wife who is just manic and stuff. But I'd probably be losing my shit too if this is who I was trying to raise my 3 kids with, and he's the one who's supposed to have a job, and he can't keep a job right now, and he is, he was already edgy to begin with, and now he's crazy and edgy. I'd be a little manic myself. And she's supposed to be because I remember the first time I watched it, it's like, well, she just doesn't get him. She just doesn't understand. And how I'm like, no, she's extremely justified, and Roy is the problem. Now, the aliens weren't helping, but Roy was already the problem.
I'm not going to get into this with you.
Why?
I just think I agree. She's valid for leaving and stuff like that, but I don't like the way she approached it by just screaming every time, because she's not doing any... She's not setting a better example for her kids by screaming and yelling and throwing shit at him.
Well, yeah. If you watched earlier in the film, she was trying to be really calm and chill about it. She even says, I think I'm doing a pretty good job handling this right now. And then weeks go by and he's still doing this, except he's amping it up, and it's upsetting the kids, and he's still going. Like, at this point, his son's already cried right in front of him about how scared he is. And now he's just whipping bushes into the kitchen window. Like, at that point, I'd be like, I don't know why I'm trying so hard to hold this together. You clearly don't care. So, yeah.
But I wasn't in the position of having aliens infest my brain, so.
Yeah, doesn't happen to everybody. But, I think she is, I think it's funny how first time I watched this, I was like, wow, she is the worst. And now I'm just like, I could see how she'd be like at the end of her rope at this point.
Oh, yeah. I would have left too. I was going to go back to. Oh, yeah. But I brought up those movies a second ago because The Exorcist feels like a loss of control. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, obviously, raw brutality. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is paranoia and loss of identity. So where does Close Encounters fit in? I feel like it does fit kind of right in the middle. It shares the same DNA in a sense, like loss of autonomy, fear of the unknown, transformation of the familiar. It's like horror without calling itself horror.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's why I was like, I'll let this one slide, because it's subtle horror. It's not in your face, visceral, grotesque horror. It's like this lingering fear of what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
Which is very prevalent in today's horror. So.
Yeah, I get that.
I think that's all I have. I do have an update though.
From your girlfriend?
From Nikki. She just sent another audio message here, so let's see what this one has to say.
I'll be waiting for you on May 15th.
Oh.
That's probably fine.
And she just sent me a whole bunch of heart faces.
Okay.
Oh, what's May 15th? Yeah, see?
I don't know. What is May 15th?
I don't know. Help me. Oh, God. Okay. Anyways, unless you have any other thoughts, closing arguments, concerns, questions.
Nope.
All right. So that is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Let's roll into the final cut. One tagline. Fucking lame. We're not alone. Okay.
No. We are not alone. Not we're not alone.
Whatever. We're not alone. We are not alone.
It has a different impact, a different emphasis. We're not alone is just a flippant sentence. We are not alone.
Putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
You're merging words together.
We are is the same thing as we're.
Yes, but it has a different
All right,
tone to it.
fucking English teacher over here.
Not an
Jeez.
English teacher. I'm just saying they have one tagline. Say it the right way.
You want to read the tagline?
We are not alone.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, trivia. During the Neary dinner scene, just before Roy piles on the mashed potatoes, the little girl Sylvia says, "There's a dead fly in my potatoes." This was unscripted and almost caused the rest of the cast to laugh. The scene was kept as is.
Beautiful.
10 out of 10. The film is shown every night, apparently, at the Devil's Tower KOA campground, thereby making it one of the most screened movies ever. I couldn't imagine working there. I think I would claw my eyes out. Like, I love this movie, but every night, that's a lot. Douglas Trumbull achieved the dramatic cloud effects by filling a tank full of half full of salt water with lighter fresh water on top, then injecting paint into the top layer. The paint billowed through the fresh water, but flattened out at the top of the heavier salt water, creating the effect we see on screen.
Beautiful.
I just want to know how they got to figuring that out. Like, who figured that out?
People whose jobs it is to only do wacky shit like that.
I guess. Someone figured it out. The John Williams score was created before the film was edited. Spielberg had to edit the film to match the music, a reverse of what is usually done in the film scoring process. Both Spielberg and Williams felt that it ultimately gave the film a lyrical feel.
Yeah, I think it gave it a definitely unique quality that I appreciate that effort.
But yeah, that's strange. If someone's like, here's the music for the film, and I'm like, I haven't edited the film, you're good. I guess it's John Williams, I trust you. Carrie Guffey's Barry Geiler performances were so good that they only needed to do 1 or 2 takes of each shot he was in. He became known as One Take Carrie on the set, and director Steven Spielberg had a t-shirt printed up for him with the phrase written on it.
That's great. Did you have the trivia for how they got him to react?
No, I said you were going to say. I have one more, though. Hang on.
Okay.
We got one more, and then you can go.
Thought it was relevant. My bad.
Then fine. Go ahead.
So what they did to get him to react to things off camera, because clearly there was nothing there, is they had wrapped GIFs for him. And they would slowly unwrap them off camera to get him to react excited and surprised. That's why in one scene when he's looking out the screen window and he says, "Toys, toys," because Steven Spielberg pulled a toy out from behind his back and was holding it in front of him.
Oh.
Yeah. So I love it. So it's where you have the whole Danny Torrance and The Shining. He was just reacting to nothing.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to give this kid presents.
And that's funny because Kubrick wanted this kid for The Shining, but the scheduling conflicts prohibited that. I almost going to say permitted that. Steven Spielberg ran a few tests of computer-generated imagery, now the industry standard, but then, in its very first stages of development, he decided none of it looked believable. Thank you, Steven Spielberg.
Thanks, Steven Spielberg.
All right, here's some silly goofs. The pickup truck that Roy drove for his work has a front license plate. Vehicles in Indiana are only issued 1 license plate. When the mothership appears above the mountain at the inn, it casts a shadow over those staring up at it, even though it must surely be above the light source, which it is. When the 1940s era abducted military personnel are coming off the mothership, they have 1970s style haircuts and sideburns.
That's amazing.
The scene where the Muncie police cars are chasing the UFOs shows them driving in mountains and through tunnels and cross the state into Ohio. Muncie has no mountains, no tunnels. And it is not that close to Ohio. There's another county in between Muncie and the Ohio state line. The Indiana Toll Road is about 100 miles north of Muncie, paralleling the state of Michigan.
Well, there you go.
And during the ABC newscast, a reporter states that the Devil's Tower National Monument was created by Theodore Roosevelt in 1915. Roosevelt was president from 1901 to 1909, and the monument was created in 1906. They also said that he erected this in 1906, and I'm like, what, did he make this?
He built it himself.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
The best craft project ever.
So, rated 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb for our purposes in the Nightmare Index. That's a 3.8 out of 5. Also has a 3.8 out of 5 on the Letterboxd, 91% on the Tomato Meter, and an 85% audience score. What did you give this?
Give 4.5.
4.5. I gave it a 4.5. So this is a Frightmare certified slap. And that gives us a Nightmare Index of 4.15. I believe that is, I didn't put the thing here. I usually do that. 4.15. I think that's, okay. Train to Busan has a 4.20. Hellsue has a 4.40. And I think this should be number 3rd.
Number 3rd.
I think this is number 3rd. If it is, that's amazing. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Congratulations. You did great.
Nailed it. Similar movies according to IMDb, we have Dual, Contact, AI, Artificial Intelligence, The Color Purple, Randomly, and The Abyss. Similar movies according to Letterboxd, we have Arrival, Signs, E.T., War of the Worlds, and Super 8.
Spielberg directed The Color Purple. That's why that's there. Also an excellent movie. Also sad, but also hopeful.
He didn't direct The Abyss. That was James Cameron.
No, but that's an alien movie.
Fair. Funny reviews?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was waiting for you to say something.
Funny reviews?
I got 3.
You got 3?
How many you got?
I think I have 4. Oh, I have, no, yeah. I'll just go first. 3 stars from Mad, M-A-D. That alien looked fucking stupid.
5 stars from The Homeless Rock Star. For decades, wives have lost their husbands to conspiracies.
I'm not wrong. Let's see. Where to go? 4 stars from James. I'm not reading that last name. It's impossible. So that's where the scene in Monsters vs. Aliens came from.
Jesus. 5 stars from Robert Daniels. I want to know the qualifications of the keyboard player in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He was sweating like he lied on his resume.
Yeah, he really was. That bro was nervous, but I think it was primarily because he was in charge of communicating and he didn't want to get everybody killed.
Yeah.
5 stars from Laird, a movie about the importance of leaving your wife and kids in order to pursue your passion to fly in a UFO.
4 stars from Preet, abandoning the family to be accepted by the alien race.
No stars, but a heart from Eddie Burback. God forbid a guy scares his friends and family by worshiping a big rock.
Yeah, geez.
Okay, so if you enjoy the show, please rate and review on your favorite podcast app of choice. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Slasher, Threads, and YouTube at Frightmares Podcast. Our email is stayspooky@outlook.com. You can also follow me personally on Letterboxd at Dr. Proctor, all one word. You are
Watson LMP 90.
Booyah. If you'd like to expand your movie podcast listening, be sure to check out the Shameless Picture Show, the Dead-Eyed Millennial Film Club, and 1 Week Rental as well. Also, the vast library of someone's favorite productions. Next week, Derek and I will be doing The Puppet Masters. The Puppet Masters.
Oh, it's like a different thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a different thing from Puppet Master.
Okay,
yeah.
because I was like, what?
From 1994 as our deep cut pick, starring Donald Sutherland. So do not confuse it for the full moon feature of Puppet Master.
Okay.
The Puppet Masters. It is streaming on Prime for a $3.99 rental. That is what we're doing. And until then, stay tuned and
stay spooky.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description